This is a demonstration on how to create a product using the shape generator command. In this example, we're going to be using a simple L bracket. So first you're going to start off by starting the shape generator command. So the first thing we're going to do in the command is assign a material to our product. If you don't assign a material to your product, the material will just be the same as the material that you designed your product as. But if you want to change it, you can just go to override material, and we're just going to use the same material that it was designed with, and then you press OK. And then the next thing you do is you're going to assign constraints to your product. So today we're going to be using the pin constraint, and we're just going to apply pin constraints to each of the holes on the back and back parts of the bracket. So you're just going to highlight over the hole as shown here, and then you click apply, and you're going to do that for each one of the holes on the bracket. Okay, now that I've applied all of my pin constraints to the bracket, I'm just going to cancel this. And the next thing we're going to do is add a load to our product, to our bracket. Today we're going to be using the pressure load. There are also other types of loads within the shape generator command, but today we're going to be using the pressure because we're using a bracket and it's going to be attached to a wall, so that will be a pressure load. So we're going to apply a pressure load of 1 megapascal because that's what we want our bracket to support, and we're going to click here for the faces, and we're going to select the top face of the bracket. So as you can see, these arrows here indicate that the pressure has been applied to that face of the bracket, and then we're just going to click apply. And then once you do that, you can cancel the command. And the next thing we're going to look at is the preserve region. So once you click the preserve region command, this is telling Inventor that you don't want it to mess with or disturb certain regions of the product that you need for it to function or connect to, per se, another piece of material. And for us, in that case, it will be this part here, which has all of the screws that we need. And our product has a not a diameter, but it has a thickness of 6 millimeters, so that's what we're gonna put here. And then once you have the region selected, you can also use these arrows. So once you have the region selected that you want Inventor to preserve, you're gonna click apply. And then you're just going to do every region. Today we're going to do this back region also. Put a 6 here. And then click apply. And then once you're done with that, the next thing we're going to do is apply a symmetry plane. The symmetry plane is optional, you don't have to apply it, but today, since we know that we want both of our sides of the bracket to still stay the same, we're going to apply this plane. You can also apply a different plane in that direction, for example, and in also this direction. We're not going to use those. And then you just click OK. And then the next part we're going to do is the shape generator settings. So this is telling Inventor basically how much you want the product or the mass of the product to be reduced by. So today we're going to use 20%, and this is just the estimate. It's not necessarily going to give you that percentage every time, but you want to tell Inventor what to aim for. And then this is the mesh resolution. It gives you, when you make it more fine, it gives you a better or more accurate mesh when it comes up, but the more fine you make it, also the longer the solve time will be. As you can see here, expect a longer solve time. Today we're going to do 2.5, and then you press OK. After you've done that, then you're going to click on the generate shape command. And then as you can see here on the left, the inventor pretty much tells you what you need to do and pretty much in what order you need to do it. And then also once you have this command up, then you're just going to run the simulation, and as it runs, it's going to tell you when it finishes, it's going to come up with a mesh, as you'll see. And so we're going to click run. Okay, so now that the command has finished, it could take a couple minutes, like I said, depending on the properties that you put here for your mesh resolution. And then so next we have our mesh. It'll come up automatically. It tells you also the original mass here, also what the new mass, and by how much it reduced the product by. And like I said, it's not always going to be specific to what you set. Like for example, here it did 24%. We set it at 20%, as you saw earlier. Okay, so once that's done, you're gonna hit the promote shape command here, and that's basically gonna tell, and then hit OK. That's gonna tell Inventor to combine the mesh you just created with your part file that you also created. Okay, so this just tells you that it was promoted successfully. You're gonna hit OK, and then so it's gonna look like this. This is going to be your mesh that was created in the shape generator command. So when you see this, this is just an outline per se of the shape that you can create. This doesn't mean that your shape looks like this. You still have to go into the sketch command like we're going to do now, and then select the face that you want to select. And then you would just take a line and outline around the shape, the mesh. So this is just a simple sketch. It's nothing really special. You're just telling it that you want to extrude these certain parts of the mesh and get rid of this part of your design. Okay, so once you've done that and you have all your outlines the way you want them to look, and you have to also make sure you have closed regions, because you can't do an extrude command, as you know, without closed regions. So then you're just going to finish your sketch, and then you're going to click extrude, and then you're just going to select the regions that we just made. And then once you're done selecting all your regions, you're just going to tell Inventor to cut out these sections through the entire object, and then click OK. And then as you can see, it cut out the sketches that we made. And then you can turn the mesh off over here, and then just click visible so it won't be visible anymore, and then you're left with your final design. You can also check that the object that you created will hold up basically to what it's designed to do by doing a stress analysis. So you can come over here and turn off your so you have the lightning bolt feature, I guess, over here. That's just saying that your mesh needs to be updated. So you can update the mesh. And then you can just turn off your symmetry plane. There we go. And suppress it. And then you would just copy the study. And then once you do that, you would edit the study properties and change it to static analysis, because that's what we want to do, and apply it. And then you would simulate the design, the stress analysis. And this, once it's done, it should look similar to this. It'll come up as a deformed version, and then you can undeform it over here and just click undeformed. And then you can check the safety factor, and as you can see, our safety factor here, the minimum is 1.1, which is a good region to be in for the minimum. And so that just tells us that our design would work with the pressure that we've applied to our object. So you can go back to the bracket design. You can just say finish analysis, and then here is our final bracket design.